wants Atiku, and he has his own valid reason, right? And you from the south, you want Obi. So how can you reconcile? How can the supporters, how can the leaders reconcile their choices? You understand? So all those concerns. So Nigeria tends to forget we are not one. We are so divided. Oh, Erufai is this, Erufai is that. I was in Kaduna, just digress a bit, and we were in a cab, you know, and some people are talking, praising Erufai. These are like Erufai is like a mafia. He's like very tough, like he's a no-nonsense person. You understand, like a mafia. They love him that way. I was like, what? So that person where you did demonize, some people like him that way. This is Nigeria for you. Just like the way Wiki is today, you understand what he did and everything in Rivers. Pull 1 million, you'll see a lot of people. So if you're talking as a southerner, okay, give the reason, but you shouldn't say okay, a northerner should also support it because we are different. I've heard a lot of arguments, but that's that, by the way. And if we have Atiku Obi, for instance, now, okay, Atiku the president, Obi the vice, right? So a lot of people will not want to like support that ticket, and then everything will now fall. If they don't support OB very well the way it should be, the support is not overwhelming, then Tinubu and APC will be the beneficiary. So it will be the North versus the South, right? And you guess who the beneficiary will be, right? If we say okay, Atiku, if we say okay, OB and Erufai, a lot of people don't even know, right? The biggest challenges we're having, or OB is having, is who will take OB's message to the northerners. That's the biggest. Like people don't see that. I've seen it. Not even that. Right. Who will take his message to the religious leaders? Who will take his message to the superstructures? We have structures and superstructures that APC are also using. How can that person also take that message and negotiate? And they negotiate power, right? Right? So if you look at all this, you look at who is taking that person, who is that person that will take Obi's message to the northeast, northwest, and the north central? Who is that person? You have to identify beyond the okay, you have this person as the leader of the the obedient movement. No, 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 no. And it has to be negotiated. Okay, the other people are skeptical of what the other person from the south is bringing. That person will neutralize that, will douse that tension. Who is that person? Right? So these are so, and we'll talk about all this in coalition. You look at who has presidential ambition. Erufai has presidential ambition. Erufai and Nuri Badu, right from Obasanjo era, they have presidential ambition, and they will stop at nothing to ensure that at least they have that. So you can't jettison such people when you're talking, right? So that's in the northwest as a whole, we have like two or three people leading, like they have that presidential ambition. We have Kwankwaso, we have Erufai, then Sule Lamido of Sule Lamido. And when we come to northeast, we have only one person or one or two persons. In the northeast, we have Atiku, we have Bala Mohammed of Bauchi, and we have this other guy, Al Mustafa. He has a lot of supporters. When we come to North Central again, we have this person, this guy from Kwara State, Saraki. You understand? They might start pushing for, oh, we want someone from the North Central. So we have to match all this together. Who will take Obi's message to the South? Or if Obi is now deputizing, who, you understand? So we have to weigh all these options. But finally, on the lighter notes, if we're talking, please, if you're talking as a southerner, you speak as a southerner, and don't expect that a northerner will agree with you. I yield.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Yai. Thank you. So just the essence, make everybody just um, keep open mind. Yeah, go. Yeah. Okay. Now you go ahead. Oh, yeah, but you unmuted your mic.
Yes, I want to say something. The last speaker, I agree with him 50%. We all cannot agree on the same issue. You understand? And I think he still mentioned the same Sule Lamido I mentioned. And some people think he's irrelevant, but sometimes That somebody doesn't make too much noise does not make him irrelevant. Most of these names that he mentioned are still people that if Obi has in his ranks, I don't think Tinubu will have any chance come 2027. The likes of Sule Lamido, Saraki, yes, Al Mustafa, though he was CSO to Abacha, he has his own followers too, and people who are loyal to him. You get what I'm saying? So I don't. I just wanted to butter and second what he's saying. You understand that there are some important figures in northern Nigeria. It's nobody's fault when they were the north still has the multitude number. They still have the vast land. They still have the population. You understand? So this is something that you cannot wish away. I try to rationalize these things 50-50. So with that, I think it's not a bad idea if there is a way Atiku can lure these people into his ranks, void of whether PDP is breaking or not. You understand? They can come as individuals. Then, when they now gather, will now decide on if they want to stay in the PDP or if they want to change the name of the PDP. Because that one itself, the party's name is even a problem on its own. Because Tinubu is beginning to do his calculations and his mathematics now. So these names that he mentioned, he just caught my attention with most of these names that he mentioned. Because I know that Sula Lamido might not be that, he might not look significant now, but he's an old war horse in the game. And he has been a very loyal PDP member and a very loyal statesman from the Obasanjo administration. So I think with all these points that Dr. AI has raised, I think is one of the most, acceptable points I've heard this evening, notwithstanding. You understand? So that's just it. That's just my own take.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Onyabo. Thank you. Yeah, Odinaya, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think it's fine that a lot of people have spoken very well. And why I like the discussion is that everybody have their own view, and no view is more superior than the other person's view. It's your personal view. Thank you, Comrade, for how much you have piloted this affair in this place. I really appreciate your maturity, and I miss your vibe very well, especially the office of the co-host. Like, no, yeah, you can't take it away. You have the
Where they go?
business.
I don't know some people they wait to use them against me for the next space.
No, no.
That's cool. Go
So,
use that against me. I just say,
yeah.
this guy, what do they call her?
So
Energy, energy, I energy they targeting for the next space where I go meet.
what you can take away from you is your in the last few hours I've watched you. You have learned so much too. That's the honest truth. You have learned so much too. I think sometimes people need to take a break and then overhaul themselves again and know what they are doing. How do you do better and how do you do it more effectively? You can't take away the fact that you have been a champion of one area of life and you have been doing so. So I don't want to celebrate you on that first of all.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, yeah, Tinubu is conducting the election as president of Nigeria, 2027 election, and Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. At the same time, Tinubu is the one organizing the election. I don't understand whether whether people who are Nigerians understand what it means. The other side talk and they say, hey, don't worry, this one. I think you don't understand what it means. Obasanjo, 2003, 2007, it started with do or die affair, and people understood what it means. By the time they go to Supreme Court 2007, where Buhari took out of court, out of the 7 justices of the Supreme Court, 3 were against Buhari, 3 were for Buhari. Only one of the Supreme Court justice, then Justice Kasina Allo, agreed with Yaradua, not because of say the law agreed with him, but agreed with him because he felt that Nigeria was spending a lot of money in that venture. It will not be financially wise. I won't spend all the money and all that. So he agreed with the 3 justices of the Supreme Court, and that gave that judgment a majority judgment that agreed with Yaradua. And Yaradua himself agreed very well that Yaradua himself agreed very well that the election was rigged. Why am I saying this thing? Is because you have to understand the power of an incumbent African president. It will be foolishness to be oblivious of that such power. In a system where we don't have institution, African leader become institution, and you see people following Buhari, Tinubu, they're not going to like Tinubu. They can understand the power of the president. It's not just a power, it's a real power. It's both ceremonious and executing presidents, as established in 2005. It's the power is so big that it's the one appointing members of the electoral commission who are supposed to conduct the election, and is doing so sometimes unilaterally. Unfortunately, the National Assembly you have today does not have the impetus, they don't have the character to even change or alter what the president is bringing to them. So whatever the president is bringing to them is what they will approve, and we know how it works, and we have seen previously how it works. That's the first poser you will go home with what we are talking about. This is my first thoughts. Secondly, we have a lot of people who are divided at the dividing line. Oh, Obi should pick us, Obi should be vice president, Obi should be president, and all that. However, if we cannot have one unanimous voice about what we are going to, even with people who support Obi like myself, then it means that we have a lot to do, because you have to organize yourself first and have in mind that you are going to one place with it. That's only when they can be able to overcome Tinubu. The only way to overcome Tinubu is a complete overhauling of a complete unanimous voice of people working together with the person they want to work with. Now, if you say, okay, let's pick somebody that is not Obi, some people will not vote for Obi, vote for the person. Some people have come to my DM and begged me not to talk about this thing anymore, but it's not my kind of person, but I will leave it because of persons I respect very well who have come to talk to me. But if it's not Obi, who should we vote for? For instance, you can say Atiku, which is your opinion. I know a lot of people that will not vote for Atiku because it's Atiku. I know a lot of people, but that's the opinion. If Obi become with L5, I know a lot of people that will not vote for Obi because of L5. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of my friends who vote for L5 because of Obi. But the question is, for you to play such experience or put any of these card, that's why I don't pity Obi right now. I don't envy Obi right now because I pity him very well. Because the guy is at the dilemma of his political career. Unfortunately, that's the way it is for him. So I feel very strongly that I think we are appreciating this man very well. I've seen his hair. The guy has grown more than his age. A handsome man. People have pushed him, talked to him. Every time, I wonder how he listens to everybody. Yet I want to make a choice about it. I hope he can be a leader enough to take a decision that will be for the best interest of himself first, then the Nigerian state, and every other thing that is good. But if you want to win Tinubu, we have to have a mentality that is different from what you're having right now. We can talk about politics of give and take, where people say, oh, we have to have open mind. I agree with that view very strongly, but I understand the point of people who say Obi has a better credential than any of these characters. Like Dr. AI raised, can Obi negotiate for himself in the north? Can he speak the language of these persons? Did they understand his language to the extent that they will understand that they will trust him? Can he be trusted? Can somebody be a guarantee for him to be trusted? They can't take away the fact that Erufai can play that guarantee, that guarantor's role in that sense. And I have a lot of persons who can still play that role in the north. They can't take away the fact that Erufai is one of the first persons that will come to your mind when you talk about that democratic credentials that the north, in terms of the religious and what it is. We can't take that away. But you need to be very circumspect when you are making these choices. That's why Obi is not envied right now. That's why I don't envy Obi right now, because a lot of people will tell you, oh, we're not supporting because of this. Oh, this one. I met a lot of my friends, senior friends like Dr. Me and Dr. This thing we're talking of when we're supposed to be Obi's career or edify. It's an opinion, but unfortunately, he's a leader too. You can't take away the fact that Professor Kakalo is a small person. That's what Nigeria is concerned. But he said it with his mouth on the private phone and in the public too. So in all of these things, is where it is. Where I ask the question, what is the way forward? Now, my way forward is that Obi have to be show leadership enough to know what you want to do. The question, if Obi run with under Atiku, will I vote for him? Because I believe that Obi will do differently. I may likely vote for Obi, but the strength is very low, or even call for people to support him in my own little capacity. 2, if Obi run against as a ticket, run on the ticket that is a bearer of the ticket, and the person you want to run with doesn't have credential like that, he did not have credential in the north, what is the persuasive this thing for me? Will I support to be? Yes, I will support to be because I believe he has the credential and he has the principles that align with my character and my principles too. Three, if they have to have a coalition and Obi have to be part of that coalition, if Obi is not part of the coalition and they don't have coalition, will I support to be? Yes, I will support to be. Even though Obi loses, I will support to be and lose together, and I'll be happy losing because his character and principles are aligned with mine. So it is difficult for him politically to think the best. My decision may not be politically inclined, or may not be best thought after. Like my position is just my position. The first problem we will get with these things is people from Igbo land. That's the first problem we're going to have. Like somebody have said, the dynamics of 2023 election will have changed completely. The places that will be won in the south, like Delta and Edo, we will not win those places again. But what is alternative we are bringing on board? If we're not going to win those places again, what alternative are we bringing on board? Obi have been consistent with his character. He has not changed from 2023 election even before now. I would have criticized him to say so. Unfortunately, his people, his own brothers have been the one defeating him and causing problem for him. That's not to say that that's not this Obi. No, that's put the right on time. So they have never spoken with one voice, so you cannot expect them to speak with one voice with Obi. Pastor Obi have galvanized them to the extent that he has done. But it doesn't have that appeal is not going to happen again in Delta and Edo. I can tell you for free. For free, it cannot happen again. But will that stop people like us to support him? No. The appeal will have been even much more right now because people have shown very well that he does not have the capacity to lead Nigeria right now. But unfortunately, his people have been the one dwindling and reducing his credentials in this part of Nigeria. These were the places he won very handsomely. I don't think he can do so again. Even with the bad governance Tinubu is dishing out to Nigeria, he will not do so again. So I just pity the man. I just don't envy him. It's not the best time to be on his position right now. And I pray that wisdom and God of grace will guide him very well. The decision he will take. And whatever decision he takes, I will definitely go with him. I like him. I've never hidden it away from him. I like him. I like his principle. I like his character. I like his consistency. I like the way he does his things. I just pray that people like character like Tinubu, like Buhari, Obi can bring out of Nigeria so that we can experience a new system and we'll start galvanizing towards a system that will be all for all. Because the current one, there's no hope in it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, Odinaya, thank you very much for that submission. Okay, let's take Chidi. Chidi, go ahead then. Sadiq, go ahead. Go after you. Then maybe the space will become open. Then I go can sleep.
All right. Hi, everyone. Finally, a female voice. Goodness.
Oh, that's good.
So I decided to request for the mic after I heard
That
Chuka
is
speak.
refreshing.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
Yeah, I
oh,
mean,
oh yes, oh yes. I said that's
Oh,
refreshing to
okay. So
hear a
because
female.
I've been waiting for a long time. So I decided to request for the mic after I heard Chuka speak. First of all, as an aside, what is with PDP guys and the word emotions? Haba. Their submission is never complete if they don't use this word. Do we need a coalition? Yes, we do. Will a coalition be helpful? Of course. At least from what I've heard and gathered while I'm listening in, we are past the is a coalition necessary convo. We agree it's necessary. The focus right now should be who should head it. First of all, and contrary to what people want to believe, the CPC and ANC coalition that formed APC had a predetermined outcome to make Buhari head the ticket. Why Buhari? Because he had a base and the numbers. Simple as that. What he needed to win at that time was the spread, that is 25% in at least 24 states. Which politician today has both a loyal base and the numbers? Peter Obi. No one politician has it all. A loyal base, the numbers, spread, radicality, competence, capacity, integrity, everything. No one has it all. And that's the beauty and essence of a coalition. Everyone that has value or anything to bring to the table is welcome. That is the basic definition of a coalition. If it's your base that you have, oh, bring it. Your spread, bring it. Your radicality, bring it. Your funds, bring it. Your structure, you are welcome. That is what a coalition is about. So, to summarize, because I really do not have much to say, Peter Obi, by virtue of the fact that he has a loyal and expanding base, and he also has the votes. We all know, there's even no point in us debating it. He has the votes. He should head the coalition. He would bring excitement and energy to the ticket. We all know this. He would. Peter is the only person that would energize the Peter is the only person that would make people on fund, like with no politicians fund, pulling resources and say today, although it's not like official campaign season, we're going to do a 1 million man match. We're going to pull resources together, print our posters, print our t-shirts, and match. Only Peter can motivate the youth to that extent. He would other And if he does that, he would somewhat curb or mitigate voter apathy, because the focus, believe it or not, in 2027 is how to get the voters out. We cannot afford to have voter apathy in 2027. That being said, the North can then agree amongst themselves to choose a VP. If my opinion is worth something, I would love for Kwankwanso to be the VP. But the question is, does he really want it? He already has his base, the Kwankwansia movement, and that's why he's my choice. Lastly, and I'll round up in a minute, Nigerians are largely primordial. The sentiment of religion and tribe is still there, believe it or not. The last thing the coalition needs during campaign period is the distraction of, oh, it's the turn of the South. Muslims cannot rule for 16 years straight in a multi-religious country. We can't afford that. It's going to derail the whole campaign, because some people will be like, oh, it's the turn of the South, is this. And then you have people saying, oh, the Southern candidate since 1999, the South has done X number of years. We don't have time for that kind of conversation. The reason why these issues should be considered and resolved while choosing a candidate. I deliberately use the phrase choosing a candidate because I do not subscribe to or trust any primary process. There are people that would want to curtail this northern pandering and supremacy in quotes, and would stick to whichever southern candidate that is on the ballot. That is our reality. Ask our middle belt comrades. Their mantra is no tribe or religion is born to rule. So the earlier we sit down and like put all of this into consideration, the better, so that we can have like an issue-based campaign in 2027. Thank you, my people, and I yield the mic.
Okay, that was a, I mean, that was a solid argument, right? And there's something about your submission that, I mean, as you were submitting, there were all these mic requests. Even at some point, even that Chuka was requested. Yeah, Chuka is still there. I just don't want this space to be heated
Oh,
because I know. So Chuka, I beg, just stay in the listener section for that because I'm not even sure I have the energy to moderate, except Social is still awake. Because I think Social should be on his bed listening by now. But nevertheless, yeah, Chidi, solid argument. And yeah, if I were to advocate for Obi to head the ticket, I don't think I would do anything differently from what you've done, right? And you even did something I've been telling people, right? Yes, the North Southern is a thing, but I believe it should not be your frontline argument, right?
mm-hmm.
It should be a side argument, but not a like. And that what you made it a side argument. You laid out your argument first before you brought it up,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And why I've said so is because. um I mean, people can still use that argument against, and if you make it a fun argument, it's a double-edged sword. People can
Yes,
still use it against Obi, right?
I agree.
So why should won't Obi go 8 years if we have an 8 year agreement, not south? So put that aside. But Chidi, the only part I disagree with you
Mm-hmm.
is the part where you said in the merger of CPC ACN, there was a predetermined outcome to make Buhari the winner. So, are you aware that in that primary, there was a primary? You said you don't want a primary, but there was a primary,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Are you aware that Buhari grabbed victory in the jaws of defeat?
Okay.
Okay, what I mean by that
Okay.
is he was on on the track to losing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But and then he won due to intervention of Tinubu notably, right?
Yeah.
So there was no predetermined outcome to make
Can I
Buhari the flag bearer. Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
can I why I said there was a predetermined outcome, and you just also like buttressed my point. That's intervention, but that's not even why. If you had listened to that, although it was in Yoruba, that famous Tinubu's Emilokon speech in, I think, Ogun State, and when he said Buhari went the first time, Olule, meaning he failed. He went the second time, he failed. Third time, he failed. That I, Tinubu, went to him and told him, come, I can make you president. It was already, see, let me tell you something. Primaries and they're all politicians. I'm not a politician. I'm not political in nature, but this is not exactly rocket science. Politicians go into these things with they already have the permutations, they've done the maths, they've crunched the numbers. Tinubu knew that Buhari had the numbers but did not have the spread. So you think, oh, it was just like, oh, it was going to be a free and fair primaries, and anyone that comes up we will support. No, Tinubu attested it to him. Are you going to disagree, or are you going to say you did not hear when Tinubu said, I'm not sure he used the word single-handedly, so I don't want to put words, say what he did not say, but he said, I made Buhari president. And he did that.
Sorry, Chidi.
Mhm.
Do you know his rivals in that primaries? Is Atiku a pushover?
Mm, if you notice, even in my submission, I did not mention
Understand
Atiku.
the argument, comrade. What she's saying is this: APC,
I don't
APC,
want
then
to.
make
Atiku,
up their mind that they will support him.
leave
That's what he's
Atiku.
trying
I
to
don't.
say.
If you notice,
No.
I'm very.
Odunayo, you understand? So what I'm trying to tell, it was not like there was no unanimous or
Sorry.
consensus to say,
Okay,
okay,
wait, comrade. Sorry, it's not like
No,
I don't want to
you
cut
will
you
know very
short.
well that
Okay, I know
APC,
you're the co-host.
APC and
L-
CPC, APC and CPC will
Let
vote
me
for
see.
him because the people that were coming from PDP and Kwakwaso people
Let.
that were going to
Okay,
Kwakwaso
wait. Let.
and this former speaker, yeah.
Okay,
because
comrade.
Atiku was so sure he's going to win.
I
That's why
see.
he
Let me
betrayed.
tell you
He
something.
left
No, I
PDP.
think we did not even come out
See,
third.
Atiku came
I think
third,
we come
but
out third.
Kwakwanso came second. Of course,
Yes.
I
see,
remember. Yeah.
comrade, and
No,
everyone on
Kwakwaso
this
comes
space
second.
will
This guy,
agree with me.
former governor of Sokoto
Okay,
State.
everyone will agree with me that
Oh, Kwakwanso
even.
came second in that primaries. I'm sure.
Okay, can I speak?
Go
Thank you.
ahead. Go
Thank
ahead.
you.
Yeah.
Everyone will agree with me that in any coalition talk, okay, assuming there are 100, let's call it key members, like in a coalition, we're all talking about even in that coalition, there's a mini caucus and there's a mini, so it's possible article with his NPDP, who knows, maybe they must at same thing that happened to what's his name, the Anambra LP guy that moved to APC. And let me just digress for 30 quick seconds. Even
Valentine. Yeah.
yeah, even when he newly decamped to APC, with the way he's moving, and I'm sure he will be too ashamed to admit this in public, with the way he was moving, you would know that he was already promised the APC primary ticket. Is it not the same person that went to meet Ganduje, went to meet Iyaloja, Tinubu's daughter, went to meet? You would know that that was what he was promised. So my point is, even in any coalition talk, there
Yeah,
are
I
still
totally agree with you. Yeah.
there
Yeah.
are still inner caucus members. Let me tell you, no matter if you see like a coalition has 100 people, there's still like two, three, five key people, seven key people that already determined it. So it's possible maybe they lured Atiku, Saraki, whoever, to give it that appearance of a coalition. But I will still stand on what Tinubu said, that I went to Buhari and told him, come, I will make you president. So it's possible that that was the predetermined, or that it was the predetermined outcome, does not mean it was like a walk in the park. It was not an easy ride for Tinubu and maybe the inner caucus people, like you said. It's not like, oh, it was like maybe Buhari won like by a landslide, but that was the maybe he didn't know it was going to
I
be dollar for
I
dollar,
concede.
and then when
Yeah.
time reached, dollar come past dollar, maybe he had to now pull some strings and make some calls, and pulled through. So that's the
Okay.
essence of it. You see, anything
Okay. Okay.
primaries in coalition is just a charade. So that is
I
why if
total
my
I
candidate
totally
Obi, I will tell him, no matter
no
what they
Chidi.
tell you, free
Chidi,
and
Chidi,
fair, no.
Chidi, Chidi. And you know, say a lot of people don't come accuse Obi say he's scared of primary. He has never subjected himself to the test of primary. He wants ticket to be handed to him on a platter, right? Consensus, no competition, no democratic process,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And based on that, couple of Obi supporters have come
Mm-hmm.
with a proposition that if Obi must be subjected to a primary, they will not subject themselves to an indirect primary. They want a direct primaries,
That is
right?
their opinion. Me,
Okay, but you know the difference. You know what a direct primaries is, right? How I mean, it's not something you can dollarize nationally, right? Like every party card holding member
mm,
is eligible to vote,
okay.
right?
Mm.
So if we go by that process, it will more likely be free and fair. So will you want Obi to be subjected in a process, primary process, that is likely to be free and fair, or you don't want any primaries at all?
Wait, I thought the issue here and the conversation is coalition. And again, I will keep reiterating, a coalition already has a predetermined outcome. Major players will lock themselves, should, if they haven't already done so, should lock themselves up in a room and figure it out and come out and make. And that is why I was a little miffed by the punch whatever headline of today saying XYZ have given offered rather
Oh,
offered.
so yeah, chili.
Hey, comrades will not let me finish my sentence.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no.
okay.
Just okay. Go ahead, finish that
Okay,
sentence.
what was
Then
even your
now.
question about? Okay. Okay, so yeah.
So so uh,
Go ahead.
so we are talking about a free and fair process, yeah. And Obi does not emerge on top. He lost in, I mean, in good faith, in a good faith process, he lost,
Mm-hmm.
or he not come out as the flag bearer,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Will you express the spirit of sportsmanship and support that ticket the coalition produced,
Uh,
even if it's not Obi?
oh, comrade, I thought you were listening to my submission. I said,
I was listening.
yeah,
I was listening. I still cannot.
exactly.
Yeah.
I see. I did look. Maybe let me make it clear, okay? The synopsis of my submission is there are two things. Okay, one, I support a coalition, and two, I would prefer Obi to head it, and I
Okay.
gave my reasons. Now, if there's going to be a primary, whatever you want to term it, free, fair, non-dollarized, open, whatever, and Obi does not head it, it doesn't support my submission. Now, if